The head of the Federal Reserve sent a statement that will shake the global markets for XRP and other altcoins. Since roughly 3 or 4 months ago, prices haven't changed this much. Bitcoin prices have never before risen to all-time highs. Indeed, a lot is happening here. I also want to be extremely clear about something. In the upcoming week, I anticipate a lot more odd things to occur. Alright, this is predicated on numerous recently disclosed data. Let me begin with this news article. All of you may or may not have seen this. I'll tell you all you need to know about it, I promise. The head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, is reportedly considering resigning. I want to make this extremely clear now. When Jerome Powell retires, the market will undergo significant changes. If this is real, I'll talk more about it soon. First, many claim that Jerome Powell hasn't been cutting interest rates as much more than he ought to have, given that Trump is probably his greatest danger. Many in the Federal Reserve share their opinion that he hasn't lowered interest rates sufficiently. He sounds as though he could give up now that the situation is becoming so hot. He may reply, "Okay, someone else can run the economy and set rates because honestly, I'm not doing it anymore." We already know that Trump will choose a successor, and that replacement will most likely reduce rates. Trump undoubtedly desired rates to be 1% at the moment. Stated otherwise, they will be no more than 3% of their current size. The markets would erupt if interest rates fell by 3%. Trillions more dollars will enter the markets as a result of lower interest rates. I'll tell you if you don't trust me. That is the result of low interest rates. Cash is added when the money machine is turned on. Usually, it takes 3 months or 12 weeks for the price of Bitcoin to increase. If everything proceeds as many anticipate, a new Fed chair will be selected this month. This month, Jerome Powell will step down. Rates are expected to decline in August, however the exact amount of the decline, 1 basis point, 2 basis points, etc., will vary by month. If they did it, 3 people I know would lose their minds. It has never happened before, and it will be a complete mess if it does. The most bizarre thing we have ever witnessed is about to happen. The Fed is now dealing with a lot of issues, which I believe is causing the markets to become quite excited. Whether this happiness will continue or if there will be a significant change for the worst is yet unknown. It appears that many people are currently ignoring this one black swan. At the very least, we should all be prepared for it, and you should. What if Powell doesn't give up and this tale turns out to be accurate? Just fluff. There may be a major crash because of the current energy levels. One term for this possibility is a black swan. Jerome Powell may leave even if he doesn't. People are giddy with anticipation. We should consider the possibility that we have fabricated a black swan occurrence. Roughly. Since I honestly don't know yet, I want to go into a little more detail about what's happening, but things are starting to become intriguing. As a source, we can see that Powell is considering quitting his position, according to a recent article by US FHFA chief Bill P. However, the article was written by Bill P. To put it another way, Bill P. is now quoting a work that he has quoted. He shares this on Twitter and Facebook. I think that's quite awesome. I had no idea that Bill P. could upload this. I believed this might have a prejudice, which would be problematic. Either a case is about to be released, or I was mistaken. I don't know. In any case, here is the tweet so you can see it for yourself. He publishes this article that, mentions him. Those are some quite peculiar things. However, it still exists. It's happening. We'll see what happens with that because it's fairly insane. Additionally, the US government is acting in some quite bizarre ways. In June, the government had $27 billion left over in the budget for the first time in US history. In June, they received 27 billion rubles in taxes, a 301% increase over June 2024. This is quite peculiar. For the first time since 2005, the US government has turned a profit each month. 20 years. 20 years. The US government last had surplus funds during the economic downturn. Although that bank failure occurred in 2000, it wasn't the last. 2008. I know what you guys mean. This also follows the third largest monthly deficit in history, which was $316 billion. It's still a nice number, but there's too much and too little. It's encouraging to see advancements. This week will be significant, according to the U.S. head of digital assets, and it's time to establish the U.S. as the global center of cryptocurrency. Look at that, please. It is now quite strong in the cryptocurrency industry. Now, if I feel like everyone is being overly optimistic, I like to. This book taught me something that makes me want to take a step back, and I keep it on my desk all day. I highly recommend this book. The Smart Investment. I read the book constantly because I adore it. Not because I ought to. Every day I read it. That book altered my life and taught me something really valuable. When others are afraid, it says to be greedy, and when others are greedy, it says to be afraid. In other words, buy when others are selling and sell when others are purchasing. Indeed? Isn't that essentially what's happening? Naturally, I can see how excited the markets are. Indeed, there is a chance that XRP's value will increase. The price of Bitcoin continues to skyrocket. Everywhere there are fires and rocket ships. Any amount between $3 and $4, but you know I'm considering all the options and weighing the information in order to make informed choices. I don't want to participate, to put it briefly. My feelings have no bearing on what I should do. Have we heard anything? You ought to sell the reality and buy the myth. Many people are certain they believe the narrative at this time. We don't know a lot of other stuff. We don't seem to know what the big week will hold. This is merely another report from the company's director in the US and head of digital assets. We have no idea what the big week will bring. It might resemble the crypto conference. It might not go well. All right. We don't know. That raises a lot of questions. However, a large number of individuals are shopping. They don't give a damn. I want to share something with you. In the end, you should make your own decision. I'm not a decent business person. When I see a large green light, I know I won't believe it. I will not perform a dollar cost average using a large candlestick. Definitely, I'll purchase a red one. I already do it, and it's very effective for me. As you can see, it works perfectly, and my long-term spot locations are doing well. I haven't sold any of those, just to be clear. I'm referring exclusively to futures when I advise to purchase on red days and sell on green days. Yes, I've set up 90% of my business. I'm pleased that people enjoy it. However, I will not sell any of that. I'm going to continue